All right, hey psych disorder students. I want to give you a quick tutorial on how to find potential articles for your presentation. I know that the website I recommend you use, PubMed, is kind of like overwhelming. You do a search for, depression or whatever disorder you're interested in presenting on, and you get so many results, thousands, hundreds of thousands maybe of results, and it can be really overwhelming. And you don't know how to even begin to filter through all that and find what you're going to present. Plus, you're presenting with a group, and it's like, do I just let someone else in my group find it, or am I being too pushy if I recommend one to my group? I would recommend that you try to find a balance between those two ends of the spectrum, and just maybe each one of you in your group of four can recommend one article to each other. That way, you all kind of put in some effort, and hopefully that'll give you 4 articles to choose from that are, then you can choose the best one and send that to me, your professor, and I'll let you know whether I think that's a good article for you to present on. But if you each find one, and then you choose as a group, use your best judgment to find the best one out of those 4 that you collectively found, there's a good chance that I'm going to approve what you found. Only if you follow the instructions. I think a lot of people over the years, that's why I'm making this video right now, have not followed the instructions for the presentation when they first find their articles, and I usually reject their articles, but if you read carefully, you should be able to find what I'm looking for you to find here. So if you go to Canvas and go to Assignments, Presentation, that'll take you here, and this is the instructions for the assignment. The main thing is it has to be a recent article. So let's say 2015 or later, last 7 years. A lot of research has happened in the last 7 years. And then it has to be from an elite journal, one of these that's listed here. And to make it easy for you, I just put a link at the bottom to a PubMed search, searching just in those elite journals. So all you have to do is click on that link, and look at this. It takes you right to this website, to PubMed, and the search bar is already populated with a search that's only searching in those elite journals. See, there's this, this is just for your own edification. This is probably going to help you at some point in the future. If you don't already know about how to search like this, it's extremely helpful. Like just when Googling stuff, this is called nesting ands and ors and stuff. So you have a big parentheses, or well, it's a regular sized parentheses, I guess, but there's a lot of things that are going to be inside this parentheses. So see, we have science journal or nature journal. The little JO in brackets is letting PubMed know that the term to the left of it is in fact a journal that it's looking for. So look for journals called Nature, or journals called PNAS, Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, or JAMA Psychiatry, or American Journal of Psychiatry, or blah, blah, blah. All these elite journals that I told you have to get your paper from, and then finally the parentheses ends over at the end. So there's like these 10 journal terms that are in the search. And it's or. It has to be one of those 10. Any one of them will do, so we use the or term. But then we also want it to be about, like, let's say schizophrenia. Say the first group to go and you're presenting on schizophrenia. So we can do, just press enter. We have a schizophrenia and all that stuff. There were a couple other things there, like prevention and treatment or something I think I wrote, but I just deleted those extra terms because I'm just looking for schizophrenia in general at this point. If I'm pretending that I'm you, a student who's like, I don't know what to find, it's probably how you feel, right? So you just know you're supposed to find something on schizophrenia. So you do a search on schizophrenia in these elite journals, and you're doing great. So look at this. You have 1,500 results. Now, this was already clicked on for me. I don't know if it would have been for you if you just clicked on that link. It could have been something to do with like the way I've used this website in the past that made this already clicked. So make sure that you do look on the left here and click on the free full text option. That's going to make sure that every article that comes up in PubMed there's a PDF of it waiting for you if you just want to click on it. It's free. So let's make sure we're 2015 and beyond here too. So there's almost 700 papers on schizophrenia in the last 7 years in these elite journals that there's also a free PDF of with just a click of the button. So that's great. So you can scroll through these 675, or you can try to add something to your search to kind of narrow it a bit, which I would recommend. I don't want you to find a review. See, it says review right here. I want you to find like an original paper. This is a meta-analysis, which is sort of also a review. I don't really want that either. I want like a new paper. Brain structure and function show distinct relations with genetic predispositions to mental health and cognition. You know, that's a mouthful, but I'm not seeing the word review. And this probably would be a good one to click on. And if you did click on it, look at that. It says open access right here, Elsevier. It says full text links on the right, and you can click on that. And somewhere then it'll take you to this website, and somewhere you're going to be able to find the PDF. Now, it can be very confusing because there's these other recommended articles on the right, download the PDF, blah, blah, blah. This is not what I want. I want the PDF for this article, and that is right here, view PDF. Sometimes it depends on different publishers that you get linked to their website. The PDF link will be in different spots, but this is the one for this one. So look at it, it's just a Microsoft Word document. This is what the author actually submitted to the journal, and that's fine. Sometimes you'll get it like this. Sometimes you'll get a nicely formatted article. Looks like it's from a magazine or something that the journal is just providing for free for some reason. But this is the article, and when it's in this Microsoft Word form, like it says journal pre-proof, if that happens to be the type of free link that you're provided, then you're going to have to scroll down to the bottom to get the figures. This is the way you format your paper when you're sending it to a journal. You have your paper, and then you have your references, and then you have your tables, then you have your journal legends for a little bit, and then, I'm sorry, not your journal legends, your figure legends, and then finally you have your figures. So I always like to look at the figures for a paper. So you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to see those. But like if you're presenting, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna show the class a PowerPoint slide of like a part of one of these figures or something, just to kind of convey what the study is about in a very short amount of time. So anyway, that's just the example paper for you. Before I even clicked on the PDF though, I was just trying to show you how to access the PDF and stuff just now and how to quickly scroll through it. Before I did that, if I were you, I would look at the abstract. I mean, obviously you already read the title and it seemed to be somewhat interesting to you, which is why you clicked on it, hopefully. But then to get a better sense of what's going on, you can look at the abstract. First thing that jumps out at me here is there's 37,000 people in this study. Holy cow. This is some massive study, and they're talking about, and I often skip to the results section just to, in a few seconds, understand what the paper is about so I can decide whether I want to spend more time on it. And they're talking about cortical surface area and genetic correlations, smoking, interesting. So it's involving, this is a massive study where they measured a few different things on people, whether you smoke and when you started smoking, and some cognitive abilities, I guess. I don't know how they measured that, but they also did MRIs on all these people, it looks like, because they're looking at their brain structure and function. And they took a blood sample apparently on these people, and they measured something about their genetics. So this is a huge study. A lot of interesting things here. So this would be a fine one, I think, to present on if you wanted to. But that's basically how you could begin to find an article. Now, there are 675 here, so that's a lot. You could add a search term if you're particularly interested, like let's say, and prodromal. Remember I told you about that prodromal phase where you're starting to kind of act a little strange maybe, but you're not full-blown psychosis at all. This is a very interesting phenomenon, and could be helpful to understand if we want to prevent schizophrenia someday. So you could do that if you wanted to add a term like prodromal to your search, or maybe you're just interested in genetics, or you could do that. Just say schizophrenia and prodromal and the journal term, or schizophrenia and genetics and the journal term, whatever you want to add to your search. Just say and then now we have only 20 results instead of 675, so you can flip through those and see what suits your fancy. So I think that's pretty much it. That's all I need to tell you. you can do the search now. You may need to go and watch this video again or pause it at different points. You may run into troubles. If you do, feel free to reach out to either me or my TA for the class, but I think you should be off and running if you watch this video carefully and kind of try it out as you're watching it. So good luck.